Dr. Yudkin, with your work thinking about the core beliefs and how like those, I guess like our moral beliefs, our sense of threat, personal agency versus responsibility, how much do you think that those are sort of biologically innate versus when we experience things in our present reality, how much of those like underlying sort of ways in which we view the world is adapted or changed based off of that?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert in child psychology. It's out of my jurisdiction. I'm going to leave that to Michael and John to talk about the biology of that. But one thing I am really interested in is the degree to which, so, you know, I think we may all have our sort of theories about what exactly is the fundamental distinction between that kind of separates the liberal versus the conservative ethos. My particular one is this emphasis on responsibility, and I'm really interested in thinking about how that interacts, John, with this idea of the securitarian personality. How does the emphasis on you know, which we can clearly see in a variety of different endorsements for different policies, this emphasis on the power and importance of personal agency, lifting yourself up by your bootstraps, being, you know, grabbing the bull by the horns, the American individualism. How does that interact, which obviously is which is known to be sort of more prevalent on the right, with this securitarian mindset that you also find to be prevalent? Because it's, yeah, just not totally clear to me, although I think that there must be ways of squaring that circle, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, I actually think it does fit pretty nicely. I had one item that said, would you rather have a really strong defense or the right to bear arms? And the Trump guys overwhelmingly went for the right to bear arms. You know, the personal agency in their own defense is a very big deal to them. They don't like the idea of having to rely on somebody else to defend them. They'd rather do that if the option is not having any defense at all. But I think you're right on target in pointing to the sense of responsibility. I think that's why they're actually pretty happy people. You know, they always score higher on social well-being. I think part of it is they see this defense as really a moral obligation. And when they meet it, they just feel really good about themselves. So it's not some kind of burden, which I think it appears to a lot of us liberals, like, you know, that must be a dreary thing. But for them, it's really kind of uplifting. So I think we might be on the same page.
Yeah. And also, you know, this reactance. So in my view, sort of, you know, what's going on there is simultaneously this embracing of the power of individual agency and responsibility, but then also a reactance against the liberal mindset that is very much emphasizing the exact opposite of that, which is an emphasis on systemic factors, structural factors that are leading people to have the outcomes that they do, which of course is, you know, deeply embedded in this liberal mindset of social justice, and obviously very important. But all, you know, just thinking about the simultaneous embracing of an importance of personal responsibility, and then a rejection of the idea that other factors beyond one's own personal capacities could be having a large influence on people's outcomes and success in life.
It's a good point. Yeah, I like the way you put that. I agree.